So it's been a bit of a while since I've taken on a large project, the last one being this world I'm sat in currently. But recently, I don't know why, but this idea came into my head to build a massive turtle island and turn it into a Minecraft base. I saw a picture somewhere of a floating turtle and it was all overgrown, and you know me, I love it when things are overgrown. So today, I'm going to build a floating island turtle base. Now, this base took a long time to build. However, I love how it turned out, and I'm excited to show you guys. And I never normally ask for likes at the start of the video, but if you could like this video, that would be perfect, because this took me a long time. And also, if you're new, maybe hit that subscribe button, but you don't have to. You can just, you know, click on the recommended again and keep doing that. That's fine. But anyway, let's start the video, shall we? Yeah, let's start. So I have never built anything like this before on this sort of scale, so it was a massive learning curve for me, and you're probably seeing the third take I think I did of this. I actually deleted 3 others, and I used a lot of world edit in this one to try and get the shape right of the turtle. Obviously, that is just a basis. There's not actually what it's going to look like at the end, but we got working straight away on the flipper. Is it called a flipper? I don't know, but either way, it's arm. And as you saw, it took quite a few takes of this before I actually got a shape I liked, and it's very flat at the moment. I actually changed that a bit later on, you shall see. I had lots of pictures of turtles up on my other screen, and you can see here me sort of raising it up a little bit to make the shell. Obviously, it's looking very flat at the moment, but I soon changed that with a bit of world edit, and I used a lot of like the smooth brush and also just placing these weird sort of spheres. They're not spheres, what are they called? Oval spheres, whatever that is. I can't remember what the name is. Is it an ellipsis? Before I finished the shell though, I got working on the limbs, and we got this sort of flat flipper working. Wow, that's a bit of a mouthful there. And getting the shape of this correct was always going to be the tricky thing for me, because I wanted it to look like an actual turtle flipper, which is quite tricky, but nowhere near as tricky as the head, which you can see now we're going to start working on. I'm also changing all the blocks from just plain stone to a mix of mossy cobblestone, andesite, and stone. And I'm still not happy with this turtle head. I think it looks pretty weird. You can see me here just trying to adjust it to make it look okay. And in the end, we got a shape that I'm sort of okay with, although it's still not good. I don't know what it is about it. I just can't get it to work. And here's where I sort of went away from the natural shape of a turtle and started sort of making it into an island with lots of hanging dirt and grass falling off the edge here. I wanted to sort of terraform it to make it look quite natural and stuff. I think I did a pretty decent job. And this is the bit which took a long time. I think I spent about an hour or 2 just doing this. Luckily, with World Edit, I could just copy and paste it / flip it. So on the other side, it is identical. But honestly, this build is so big that it's kind of hard to notice that it's identical. You'd have to look at it pretty closely to see that. And we also got adding in the back foot as well, which I'm going to leave flat because I think they are kind of just flat naturally. So it looks pretty good in my opinion. It took me a while to get it the right size. So I think the proportion now is decent. Also, that lava volcano in the background is so bright, and I don't know why I did that in, but I thought it would have looked cool. Okay. I then finished off the terraforming of the back of this guy. It sort of gets a little bit smaller at the shell at the end. I also added in a tail later. I'm not sure if I include the time lapse of that. And here is where I made the flipper look a bit better. I sort of lowered it in increments, and I made it sort of more of an actual swimming turtle rather than it just stood there all flat like sort of thing, like it's laid on a beach, when it's not. It's flying through the sky, which makes complete sense, by the way, complete sense. And then we took on the process, which was again very, very long, of adding in some hanging vines. I wanted to make this thing look really overgrown. You're going to see later it's going to be a very jungly island, and here is sort of all these vines falling off this ancient flying island of a turtle. Maybe it has risen from the sea, and this is all the seaweed and stuff it's picked up over time. Also, I changed the biome. At the moment, it's sort of like a tigery biome, which makes the leaves darker, but you'll see in the next time lapse that it is actually a lot brighter now. Look at that. Oh, isn't that lovely? And what I wanted to add in as well was a load of bamboo. So I actually changed the tick speed to 0 and then just added in the bamboo myself to the height I wanted it to be. I also got making a few custom jungle trees here. I went for 3 different trees in total. One sort of small one fat one, and one tall skinny one, which you can see me building in the background there and adding on right now. And I think these all look really nice together, as this is the effect we're going for. We're making it look like the turtle is overgrown and is a floating island that has risen up, because normally it is an island. I also added in a load of flowers around as well and bone milled the ground just in every single spot that I could, just to make it look as overgrown as I possibly could. After I'd finished the side, I flipped it, so as you can see it's sort of even on each side here, but I only did it for that part. Every bit after this I just placed randomly to make it look more random, I guess you could say. And I also got working on something on the top, and that thing was a castle. I thought a castle would be very nice, especially if I make it really overgrown, because obviously this is a base after all. We can't just live on an overgrown island. We need to actually have somewhere to put all our stuff, and this castle here I think fits perfectly. I really like the use of mossy cobblestone and mossy stone bricks, plus a bit of cobblestone as well. And this is one of my favorite castles that I've made so far. I made it, of course, overgrown with lots of stuff on the top of it, but added in quite a few windows, this little section there in the center, and you actually walk all the way through it. Also, another great thing about having the tick rate on 0 is that I can place the vines and they won't grow crazily, so they'll just stay in the spot you place them in, and I think they look really good on this castle here. We also made an entrance up to it as well, added in a bit of water and all that sort of stuff, some more custom trees which I made as well. And then behind the castle we got working on a magical crystal. This crystal is why the turtle is flying. It is the power behind the island, so we must keep it safe at all costs. And I decided to add in some like really fun little bits flying around it as well, which I think looked really cool. And then I just sort of added in some bush, some like trees, etc. I made some actual bigger trees. You can see me making a couple of them here. This one I really like the design of. I thought that one looked really cool. And then I also made a much bigger one here, as you can see, which is about 2 wide, which I thought looked really cool as well. It makes it look all overgrown and very much like a jungle biome, but a custom jungle biome. And what you can't really see here, but you will notice slightly as it improves over time, is I'm just going through bone meal in the ground, adding in bamboo, adding in like rocks and bushes and stuff, which honestly takes a really long time. But we also got working on another massive tree, the mother tree of the island. I don't know why, but I always feel like an island needs a mother tree. And I used some birch leaves for this and some spruce logs, because I think those two work really well together, especially with the shader pack. Look how pretty that looks. And this was actually the final part of the build. After this, we sort of just added in some glowing water underneath it using some sea lanterns, and then I also just sort of bone milled the ground, make it look overgrown, added in lots of flowers underneath the tree as well to make it look like it is life coming out of it. I don't know. It just looked really pretty, okay? And there you can see me finishing it off, and we're going to end with some nice cinematic shots of us flying through the castle here. Oh, we're glitching through some leaves, but there is the castle. You can see you can walk all the way through. I'm going to show you this in more detail in a second. We're going to have a little walkthrough of the map, but you can see the crystal in the background. We actually reached the height limit with that crystal, by the way. That is 240 blocks, the top of that crystal. So we can't go any higher than we already did. And we got a bit of a pan around here. It's kind of hard to get the scale of this turtle because it is so ridiculously big. In fact, in a second, I'll go through and measure it and tell you exactly how big it is from one end to the other. But you can see just by the scale of it, it is ridiculous. But I'm so happy with it. I think it has turned out looking so nice. And you can see a top-down view here where I think this looks really cool, seeing like the flippers or whatever they're called, and also all the things we've got on the island. It's just so pretty. Let's head into the game now and let me show you around the island. So I just checked and it's about 260 blocks across in size. It's quite big. Look, here's me. I'm stood on his flipper. Now my idea was, right, about up to here, the midway line where his flippers were, just probably above the flipper, is where the island would go underwater. So you'd probably start around here. And then it's quite like a mountainous island, obviously. But look at this. Look how pretty this is. Oh, mama. I really like these little waterfalls here. I think this looks really nice, especially with this shader pack, all the bamboo as well. This is very much me, and the castle itself isn't decorated inside. I'm sorry, you know me and my interiors, but inside this little hallway here, I really love this building. I think it looks awesome. All the windows. We've got an entrance to the castle over here where you'd go in. At the moment, we just got these sort of sea lanterns there, but the overgrown courtyard, the vines, everything, I think it looks so nice. And this is my favorite part, right? You come through under this little gate bit here, and whoa, look at the crystal. Isn't it beautiful? I think this is really nice. I'm very happy with this design. It's turned out exactly what I wanted it to look like. And then the tree as well, I'm really happy with. Very droopy tree, thick old trunk. And this is the stuff that just took forever. Look at all these rocks, etc. that I've placed down, the leaves, the bamboo. There's just stuff everywhere, which is why it took so long to build this thing. Just placing all of that individually. Like, if I look at my statistics, right, I have placed over 6,000 leaves, 4,000 stone. I bone meal the ground nearly 4,000 times. And look at all these other blocks that I've placed. The bamboo, nearly 1,000 times. I placed 600 vines individually. Just so much stuff placed. It took a real long time to do all this, but I'm super happy with it. I want to have a look at it with some other shader packs quickly to see if it still looks as nice. You may notice the thumbnail, I've used this screenshot here, and that is not actually a screenshot, that's a 3D render because it is so big, this thing, that I couldn't actually get a screenshot because, look, the chunks just don't load in. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, so maybe this does look good with other shader packs. Oh my gosh. This is the shader pack I normally use. It's a bit too bright for this, I think. I feel like the mysterious look looks a bit better. And this one, like usual, is too dark. I still think the original shaders I used, which is this one here, looks the best though. So there will be a link in the description if you want to try out this map and have a look around. And like I said earlier, this is actually the world border. Look, I literally can't go higher than this. It says height build is too high. But I could have made the ground lower. That is not bedrock there. But there you go. The Turtle Island, complete. I'm very happy with this. I hope you guys like this video. If you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also leave a like and comment even if you're not new. Thank you so much for watching. I shall see you another time. Goodbye.